Hello and welcome to Clearing the Creative. This is a podcast that is all about giving people the practical tools that they need to work through their creative block, whilst also diving into the inner beliefs and inner struggles that can also play a huge part in the struggles. It was wonderful to talk to Deb Flanagan, who is a teacher, content creator on the Insight Timer app. Highly recommend getting Insight Timer. It is such a valuable app with so much content on there, so many classes, so many meditations, meditation music. There's just a lot there to choose from and find what resonates with you. In this conversation, we dived into struggles with procrastination, the resistance to promotion, not wanting to come across salesy and annoying, and just wanting to feel safe in how you show up and how you put your heart and soul project out there. There was a lot of nuggets of wisdom in here, and it was a delight to talk to Deb, and I wish her all the best with her wonderful game and this dream that she has to see it make a difference with people. So let's jump in. Hello, Deb. Welcome to Clearing the Creative. I'm so excited to have the chance to talk with you.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. So, can you share a little bit about the project at hand that you feel this passion for, but you also feel this block towards?
Yeah, sure. I've created a game. It's called the Game of Insight. And so it's a board game at the moment, and it's developed well enough to play. I've played it in person. I've run workshops in person and online. And I've only had positive feedback so far about the game. So my next steps are to get it professionally developed, which I have been, you know, procrastinating over, or there's been roadblocks in certain avenues in regards to that, which is slowly um, breaking down. So like I've, had some blocks and now they're flowing a little bit, which is good. But I seem to have a bit of resistance with promotion. I myself seem to have just generally issues with promotion. Seem to go through phases of, feeling really good and positive and out there. And then other times I kind of just, don't do anything because life gets in the way or what have you, whatever excuse I make for myself. So yeah, I feel like there is some resistance with regards to putting the game out there more, like even contacting businesses as a form of team building exercise, etc. So yeah, I think it's mostly around promotion. And then also the next steps are to create a facilitated training program, which is something I've, it's been in the back of my mind, but I haven't actually actioned anything other than an outline for what that might look like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there seems to be a bit of procrastination because a lot of this has been thought about or talked about for a little while, but hasn't actually been actioned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, promotion is just like this huge block for so many of us. And the first question that popped into my head as you said that was, how do you feel when you see other people promote their things? When you're scrolling on your whatever social media of choice you comfortably land on the most often.
Um, I think it depends on the individual. Some people seem to do it really naturally, and then some people uh, seem to be a little bit over the top, I think, So I think it kind of just depends on the individual.
What does over the top look like to you?
Over the top to me looks a bit like maybe it's just because they're really confident, and maybe that's what I secretly admire. But I guess over the top for me is um, almost like too showy, if you know what I mean. So
Like
Yeah.
too showy of results, credentials?
No, not necessarily that, just themselves, perhaps, like too showy in regards to sexual, perhaps, or
Oh,
I'm not sure in that
as in
regard.
like using their very well-toned body in pictures to kind of showcase themselves? Are you following a lot of fitness people or
Not necessarily fitness people, no. No, maybe just more from a sexual point of view, if that makes sense.
I'd
Yeah.
love to hear more about that.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know. But
Is it
hmm,
because it's like digging deeper? I have a friend who always says like, the first time you ask somebody how are you, you're gonna be fine, it's gonna be good, and like you have to ask like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times to really get to the answer of how are you really. And so asking ourselves really, okay, what bothers me about this post? What bothers me about this behavior from my child? um Whatever it
yeah.
is, asking deeper, asking again, but why, but why, to get to those answers of what is it. Like I've been on a journey recently of seeing, wow, I project all of my insecurities onto others. I don't think I have any insecurities, I think I'm fine, but other people, they really think I'm a failure.
Okay.
So it's really interesting to recognize those things. So do you think that some people promote too often and you're like, ooh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be come across as annoying or in people's faces?
Um, I think I do pull back because I feel like, oh, I don't want to just promo or I don't want to come across salesy and that sort of
Mm,
thing. So, yeah, I think that stops me perhaps from doing promotion sometimes. Do I think other people are? I don't know. I'm trying not to be too absorbed by social media, if I'm honest. So, um, I guess certain platforms do just feel like a big sales pitch,
especially
and
like LinkedIn. Oh my goodness.
yeah, or if we're naming platforms, Facebook for me, I like to call it fake book because I feel like, it doesn't have that authenticity that some other platforms do. And that's why I guess, where I met you is through, an Insight Timer, although it was on Facebook, but it was through because of, the Insight Timer teachers on that platform. So, I do feel there's platforms that are a bit more genuine and authentic and and I guess they're the ones that I'm wanting to show up on, but in the same sense, it's also about reach.
Yeah.
And,
So which
you know,
platforms do you feel are more suited for you and more authentic feeling?
yeah, well, I do like showing up on Insight Timer. It's the only place I go live
Mm,
currently, and I've recently just started on Substack, but I'm still feeling my way through that. And I
mm,
know that you can go live on there once you have like a 10 subscribers or something. So I'll be interested to test that platform out, which might have a little bit more freedom of expression than
mm,
Insight Timer, which does have a few limitations, as we know,
mm,
right? So for me, it's just finding what resonates. I feel more comfortable in groups on Facebook. It's about wanting to feel authentic and where I feel safe to show
mm.
up, if that makes
Oh,
sense. Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Feeling safe to show up.
Mm.
And it's on Insight Timer, you're not really allowed to do much actual promotion. You can't even mention you have a website. Like
Yeah,
you're
so it
very,
does
your
make it
hands are very tied.
difficult. Yeah, and so I've spent since probably May 2023, I started on there and I've only got like 417 followers or something, and I haven't gained any clientele from it at all. So it does feel like I've put a lot of time and energy into it for little reward, um, other than I have created a lot of content, but it's all free so far. That everything on there is free, and some of it you do for self-expression and for your own confidence and to help others, but it does get to a point where you have to be conscious of where you're spending your time and energy. And is it an efficient thing to do it in this, keep doing it in this way,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah. Um, and for somebody like me who's doesn't have endless energy, like I'm not a generator, if you know about human design,
A
I'm a
bit.
project. Yeah. I'm a projector, so I don't have this boundless energy to like to have the energy to be constantly putting myself out there and creating lots of content. So,
Right. Have you
yeah.
ever shared any of your Insight Timer content to Facebook?
Um, Not a lot, not a great deal.
Because I mean,
Yeah,
it's content is content, and it's
true.
very easy to watch videos on Facebook. Trust me, I've been caught there many an hour. Uh, so
Yeah.
the thing when you said about Facebook feeling calling it fake book in your head, it's like I feel like Facebook is a place where I personally have been some of my most authentic. When I just like I have a post and I'm like, I need to write this, I need to put this out there, and the words flow out of my fingers and I share it. And I've been on there since I was like 21 and I'm 38 now. And it's like I've amassed quite a few people over these many years from all
Okay.
walks of life. And
Yeah.
it's where I get the most back from when I share a picture of my kids. It's where I get the most, likes and comments back. And it's like, and it's a
Yeah.
place where I don't care about how many likes or comments I get because it doesn't count. It's just the
Mm,
social media I spend the most time on
okay.
YouTube. I care. It's like, okay, I put a lot of hard work and heart into this and I really want to see some results. On Facebook I don't care. It's kind of
Yeah.
interesting. um
I think with that whole when we had the COVID you know, drama saga, whatever you want to call it, I I expressed my thoughts on there, and I think that created a lot of tension, shall we say. And I think perhaps that might have been the trigger point for me to actually pull back
mm,
on my full um, expression to a certain extent. Or, I try to now not even go into politics or any of that, or extreme, what might be classed as extreme views by others. So, yeah, but perhaps I still have some some residue from that might be part of the reason why I don't like the platform.
mm.
Yeah.
So where you share yourself, where do you what when was the last time you wrote something that really felt like you, or shared a picture that really felt like you, that really felt like this is the me that is true and that I want to put out there that people can resonate with?
Well, that's all the content I put on Insight Timer. It's my poems, it's my channel messages. Yeah, I think, and that's what I do like about it, is that I get to see what my creative gifts and how that impacts people, you know?
Mm.
Um, and yeah, so that is rewarding when you get a notification that, oh, somebody's, made a comment, and then you go read it, and then, oh, I really needed to hear that right now. And, so that kind of does keep you going, I think, to a certain extent. Yeah,
But then you've
yeah.
got this other thing, this big project you've been working on for years that is actually an avenue to make money, and like how do I bring people over to it?
Yeah, exactly.
How
Yeah.
do I
So,
share it without being salesy? And how do I share when I'm not even allowed to share?
yeah, yeah. So it makes it difficult. So yeah, that's why I'm using Substack, as Tom Evans suggested. Use Substack as basically the avenue to just share predominantly about the game. So perhaps, something, and obviously there could be some things in regards to the game that I could record, elements, because it is about auras and chakras and things like that I could create some content on Insight Timer and all that. So at the moment my content's a bit all over the place. It is
Mm-hmm.
kind of, Insight Timer is just my freedom of expression, I suppose. Substack for me, I might navigate that to being more around the game, perhaps.
So question, oh
um
sorry.
yeah, you go.
I'm getting excited. Um, First thing is, are you on YouTube or have you considered YouTube?
I'm on YouTube, but I'm not active. Like, I created an account, but I'm not really active on there. Yeah.
Okay,
So,
so how is your community of people around you? Do you have anybody in your vicinity that you could connect with to play the game and record aspects of it and use that for promotional materials?
um, have I got somebody that could record it
Yeah,
while
record
it's
it,
being
play it.
played?
Yeah.
I could probably just set up a camera or something to record it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because just showing people have the experience is way more interesting than hearing someone say, "Hey, I have a game." It's like, this is it, show don't tell, you know. And
Yeah. Okay.
there's a lot of so I'm also a video editor, so I just get
Ah,
excited about, I wish I could be a fly on the wall to record, because it's not just one stationary camera, but to actually be able to move around and like capture the look on someone's face, like getting close up in there when they're like, oh, you know, those magical moments of realization, just being able to capture those and show people, like,
mm.
you when you play this, you're going to connect in a deeper way with people. You're going to connect to yourself in a deeper way.
I was just going to say, the game has been played online, so I do have some, I think, a Zoom recording somewhere of the
Mm-hmm.
game being played. But yeah, probably being in person would be a more effective tool. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
And the thing is, like, you can use this footage in shorts and reels if you're on Instagram as well. Um,
Hmm.
you can use it so many different places and ways, so you're not limited to just, oh, I did this once, I don't have to do it ever again. You get to,
Yeah.
people also don't get all their notifications, as we know. And so you can share things multiple times.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. All right. So maybe that's something I need to
Yeah,
consider next time there's an in-person event, see if I can find somebody to do a recording of it.
because marketing, I feel like, is not just talking about the thing, of course, but also showing glimmers of yourself and what you care about. Because sometimes putting out our unpopular opinions is so good and vital to thin out the herd so that we really are attracting the right people. It's like, if you're a person who curses, curse. Don't let people be surprised about that when they meet you. Like, put yourself out there so that people know what you see is what you get. And
Yeah.
talking about the thing, talking about the struggles of the thing. Like, I have this thing and it's so hard to put it out there. So people are in on the journey with you and rooting for you. Oh wait, that's bad Australian, isn't it? In American English, that's not a bad word.
That's fine.
Okay.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Okay. On you, people are on your side and excited to see how the journey goes, of like, oh, I'm meeting with a person to see about getting this done professionally now. And this is how, like, vlogging, have you ever done any vlogging?
Not really, no.
Okay, vlogging, this is the thing. Okay, some people think that it has to, this is what it is. This, it's 26-year-old beautiful women with the cheekbones and the, okay, guys, today I'm going to put this makeup on. And some people think vlogging is, what's up, everybody? But it can also be middle-aged moms on a journey, because
Hmm.
other middle-aged moms maybe are really looking to connect with people on a journey. that they resonate with. It's like watching content online is kind of like dating. It's kind of like, okay, who do I connect with enough to want to spend time with?
Yeah, I love that. That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
Pretty true. Yeah.
Yeah. So I highly, highly recommend YouTube, man. It's it's
Okay.
it's so versatile and there's everything. Everything. There's woodworking, woo-woo, how to build a chair. It's everything. It's like when people said,
Mm.
"Oh, I hate TikTok." Like TikTok is also everything. It's also literally every kind of person, every age group, every interest. It's so silly to say you just, oh, I hate that because you're on there too, you know?
Mm. Well, I'm not. I
No,
don't
no, I
actually.
mean,
I'm
I
not
mean,
actually.
I mean the person just like you is on there.
Okay. Yeah.
That's what I mean
Mm.
by saying you're on there is that there are so many channelers and and mystical, magical people on there.
I mean, how many platforms though do you really feel like you need to be on? Can't we just kind of limit it to a
Oh yeah, yeah,
few?
for sure, for
Like,
sure. Like I
uh,
would say keep it on the back burner, but
mm,
don't dismiss it because once already have all this content, you could just
mm,
literally put what's on Insight Timer on YouTube, and then you have a chance to reach more people.
yeah. But with that, it's like
And on
it's
YouTube, you can
static, right? So what do you do there? Do you just put up a static picture and then put up your poem and
you could.
like, you
Um,
know,
that's
do you
something
create?
that because there's so much space for expression. Plus, you can share all your links and all your promotion. It's pretty darn handy that way.
Uh-huh.
You can
Sure.
mention your links. You can put your links in the description. You can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I was just kind of like, oh,
Another
yeah,
thing,
obviously when the content's already created, it can be repurposed. I guess
exactly.
I'm coming from a point, well, it's better for me if they go to Insight Timer and listen to something because then that, that contributes to some form of like pay at the end of the day. Whereas the YouTube is like, well, you got to have like thousands and thousands of followers before you could actually um, technically make any money on it. But then again, you can promote. So I guess that's the advantage, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Hmm. I want to take a minute to think now because I'm like, feel like I'm going blah, 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 but I'm not like listening. You know what I mean? Ooh, I know what I can do. It's a fun little experiment. Um, I have these cards that I made myself. So I thought,
Ah.
tarot sounds way too complicated. There's like 8 billion combinations. And I had these cards that I already made. And I was like, what if I could use those? What if I could use my own art?
Mm-hmm.
So we can have a little fun experiment and see if there's something for you in there.
Okay. Sounds good.
I love meeting other magical, just open to whatever people. It's so exciting. I grew up actually Christian, thinking everything like is new agey is evil and demons.
Yeah. Wow.
I
How
know,
things have
right?
turned.
Channelers, oh, that's just more demons. Um,
Yeah.
that's so funny. I'm so thankful to be open to wonder and just to be in a whole different world and mindset out of judgment and fear. I was trying to pray, but not knowing who to last night, and then I got this like fully formed thought in my head of you learned how to pray wrong. Like, oh,
So, so what did you pray to or what did you
I
ask
don't
for last
know what I'm
night?
praying to, but I was just like, but wanting to call in abundance, wanting to call in belief in myself and yeah, money of too. Like we're all needing it. We're all
Yeah.
calling in this belief that all those things are gonna come and I can create my own future and my own I can call in things, and it's like wanting to kind of praying to just believe that and be able to do that.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Do you what do you pray to? Or do you pray, or how
I don't really pray per se. I wouldn't really call it praying. I guess I open up and what I call a tune in. So
mm,
tuning in and to my higher self, more or
mm.
less.
Is your higher self what you channel, or do you know what you channel?
Um, I don't really know what I like yeah, I would say it's my higher self. I'm not one of these people who say, "Oh, I channel,
The
Jesus,"
Arcturian
or I
Council.
channel bloody, yeah, the Council of Delight, or
Yeah.
I don't have any affiliation with dragons. I don't have any
Ar-
affiliation with fairies or,
Archangel
so
Michael.
yeah, none of that. No. So it's just, to me, it's just like everything is one, right? Everything is one.
Mm,
So ultimately, we're just wanting to tune into the divine, right?
mm.
We're all connected. So
Do
for
you,
me, yeah, you
sorry,
go.
finish your thought. I'm sorry.
Um, well, it's about the divine, connecting into the divine and our
Mm,
higher self, right? So it's
yeah.
all one anyway. So, you
Yeah.
know, whether you call it God, whether you call it the universe, whether you call it your higher self, whether you call it whatever you call it, it's all one and the same. Labels are kind of irrelevant in my
Mm,
mind.
yeah. Okay, so this is the card that I pulled.
Oh, that looks scary.
I know,
What
but
does it say?
it looks
Sit with
scary,
it.
but it also looks kind of cute, and like it also looks kind of cute and innocent to me somehow.
Okay. You should
Like,
explain what the picture is if this goes to Insight Timer and
right.
we can, but
So it's a
they don't know what
picture.
we're talking about.
There's a it's got the word sit with it, and next to that is a very large bowl of cereal, and then front and center is a skeleton. But I think it's a very, very old skeleton. I think it might be some kind of middle evolution kind of thing. It doesn't look like the normal human skeleton, does it?
No.
It's much smoother all around. It doesn't have like the normal human definition.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the expression of it just seems really like calm, like
Okay.
really like thoughtful.
Mm. Contemplative.
Yeah. It seems very childlike and very not just a complete lack of judgment. Just like like it doesn't need anything.
Yeah. I like that. It's nice to feel like you don't need anything, isn't it?
Yeah. And the bowl of cereal is just so comforting too. Like I don't know about you, but cereal's such comfort food. You just what
It
you
is.
know.
It is for my kids. I have porridge, so I don't really have cereal, but my closest to cereal would be porridge. So yes, that's comforting because it's warm. For me, it's
Yeah.
warm.
It's just that what you know what exactly what you're gonna get.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Sit with it immediately brings makes me think of just are you and what we were just talking about your connection with all that is how often are you connecting with that sense of inner divinity and calm and connectedness before you go out to make your posts, make your connections with people, put your game out there.
Um, Obviously not enough.
Mm. Yeah, that doesn't. There's no judgment attached. It's so easy to
Yeah.
think. It's so easy to compartmentalize things and be like, this is work, this is spiritual life, this is
Mm.
exercise, this is family time, and to put yourself in these little waffle boxes of life. And it's like, but it's all
Mm.
connected, isn't it? So
Yeah.
showing up
Yeah.
as your best self for all of those aspects is sitting with it finding that comfort, finding that place where you're sharing from peace and not needing anything.
Mm, yeah.
There's a person that I've connected with, very fascinating person. He's like a human lie detector, and like if someone thinks that they're telling the truth, but he can sense it and he like feels it like physically in his body. He's like, oh, that's BS.
Yeah.
That's not it. And he kind of came up with the thing of the helper's paradox, where the more you need to do something, the more you just can't. You block yourself off from it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, a lot of it's to do with surrender, isn't it? Like you can have, and it's kind of like you can have ideas of what you want to do and what you're creating and what you're planning to do, but then ultimately you still have to go with the flow and let
Mm.
things unfold. And it's that force versus flow. And you know that when you're in flow and things just naturally happen without you even asking for it or expecting it or any of that, right? It's like I had somebody book in for a private function of the game and I didn't even like ask her or expect it, or it just kind of happened. It's usually when you're not trying or forcing things to happen or have this master plan of, oh, I've got to run this workshop on this date and it's going to da 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 da. And, or you might even feel that you're being led to pick a date or this or that. And then you plan it all that way. And then you don't get any bookings or whatever. So it's kind of like a lot of the time, as a friend of mine in Canada would say, committed and unattached, right? You're committed to your purpose or your dreams, but you need to be unattached as to how
Mm.
they unfold. And, I think that's kind of where I'm at to a certain extent. It's like, okay, well, I'm here just doing swimming instructor training, something I did back in 2017, and I've just finished that, and now I'm doing that as a job, and I'm actually really enjoying it. And then I have to learn to let go of all the judgment I have on myself, going, well, if I was successful in my business, I wouldn't have to do this, and da 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 da. But then I'd say, stop that right now. You're actually enjoying this. You love this. You're enjoying seeing these kids and working one-on-one with them and seeing their development. And I've only just started. And it's like, I really like this. I like being in the water. I'm
Oh,
getting satisfaction. I'm taking the pressure off myself a little bit. And that's okay. So I think that, you talked about the whole judgment thing. There is a lot of, I think a lot of us, I don't know if it's a creative thing or, but a lot of us are so hard on ourselves and we forget to be compassionate like we are for other people to ourselves, and also reflect on perhaps how far we have come and what we have achieved and taking that pause and that you say sit with it. Well, I think the card I pulled earlier this week for the collective um, was about, I can't remember what the card was, but the main gist of the message was to reflect on, how far you've come, before you actually move on to the next goal and the next thing and the next thing. And you've got to actually sit and realize, hang on a minute, I have done that and I have achieved that. And everyone that's attended this have loved it. So I know I'm on my path. It may not be happening at the pace I want it to, but just breathe and let go and let it unfold in its divine timing and divine order. Yeah.
kind of sounds a bit like you're channeling right now, huh?
Yeah, I do. I go into these zones of just like,
Yeah. And the fully formed thoughts just come out. But isn't that like one of the clair cognizance, where you just it just comes, the knowledge of things just comes?
yeah. And that's when I do my readings on my lives. I do a weekly collective card pull, and then I sometimes do individual readings. And then what I often find, sometimes those readings are from my own oracle deck. So these are my symbols, which are part of my game, and my oracle, orange chakra oracle deck. And what I find with the readings, whether it's from my deck or from some other oracle deck, is that it all flows. Like there's just this connection from the because we're all one, and like the collective carpool is guidance for everyone on the call and the collective as a whole for the week ahead. And then the individual pools are there's always something in there that kind of connects back or connects to the next reading or and it just sort of almost comes full circle. So
Mm.
it's really I love it because it just things just flow and they just unfold, and it's not the thinking mind, it's not the ego mind, it's just it's just everything flowing through. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to go back to this card. It was interesting that your very first gut reaction was, ooh, scary. And
Yeah.
how, and that's like, that's a feeling safe in putting yourself out there, and the discouragement of like, there's been that block of getting the thing professionally done for different reasons. So it's like,
Mm.
that's kind of part of it too, this scary skeleton, but the thing that struck me about it was, oh, what a soft, gentle expression on its face.
I know you saw something completely different. I know. I was like, wow, and but it also reminds me of when I was like, my coach said to me, he said, oh, just call 10 businesses today and ask them if they want to, tell them about your game. And tried to call one and they were closed because they're a Cairo business and they're typically open in the morning and then they close in the middle of the day and then they open up again in the afternoon. Anyway, they weren't open. And then I'm like, I don't want to call anyone else. I'm just going to send an email. So it's just like, I backed out. I was like, no, I'm just going to send. So it's kind of like that, exactly what you say. It's like this uh, kind of fear response.
And not letting that first response, not judging yourself from that first
Mm,
response, but also
yeah,
not letting that first response keep you from trying again.
yeah, yeah.
Like, there is something so much more valuable in eye to eye contact, face to face, even video. Like, I hate just talking on the phone nowadays. Like, I want to see the face, I want to see the expression. um there's just something so much more valuable in that. And I've done a lot of sales over the years. With I was with a theater company, we had to book our programs, and so I did so much time of talking to people, and it was so, we hardly ever got bookings from cold calls on the phone, but we
Okay,
regularly got bookings, and we would see people face to face. And we like, we
okay.
were this group of young people, like, so excited about our theater, and like, this is what happened in this other place, and we love it, and we love, and let me tell you about this play that is really special to us. And people would always book us face to face.
Ah, that's good to know. Okay. Well, that takes even more courage. It takes even more courage to meet face to face. Did you just like, did you call those people or businesses first and like, did you make an appointment to go in
Yeah,
face to face?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So
Maybe that's
making
what I
those
need to
appointments could be a really
do.
good step. Um,
Yeah.
Even being like, and hey, if it's the right kind of time and place, can we play a game together? Can I bring this to you and I can show you how it works and we can play it?
Yeah. Okay. Like a little sample, a little taster or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably a pretty
Okay.
long game all in all, but to give a,
It is, yeah. But it's like one time I did that online in this creative group. We did a little taster for 20 minutes and then they booked in and I had an online session scheduled and then three out of four of them booked in to play it, the full game because it
mm,
goes for about 2 hours on average. Yeah. Um, so that was pretty cool. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, the more you can see people, the more you can share your passion and share it, that it comes out of your eyes. Like, I was an actor for all those years. It's the eyes that communicate everything. People can see the
Yeah.
sincerity. People can see it all and feel it all from you.
Okay. Oh, all right. So I need to pick up the phone to make some meeting times, maybe.
Yay.
But then you'll find out if they're interested in at least in the idea, right? Rather than
Yeah.
it's quite easy to dismiss an email, isn't it?
It so
It's
is.
harder to dismiss a phone call and then, yeah.
Also, what happened to us? My email went to your spam or trash folder. Like,
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
you never know. Um, I want to ask, do you feel like you have some ideas for things to do right away?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you
So
feel
I think I'll need to sit with it, I think I need to sit with it in regards to the platforms, um, conscious of what you've suggested there, in regards to some other platforms to consider, whether that's down the
right?
track or now.
Yeah,
But yeah, definitely about, picking up the phone and meeting people face to face and maybe even little demos or,
absolutely
it is
demos.
some,
I would
yeah,
say very clearly
okay.
no maybe because showing is always better than talking about.
Yeah, true. Because
That's my
it's
take
a hard
too.
thing to explain. It's a really hard thing to explain, and you can't, obviously experiencing it speaks for itself. So, yeah.
And if whatever we called it again, I always say like the divine or whatever. If the divine knocks on you and like says, "No, no, no, YouTube, seriously, get on there," then
Yeah, yeah. I'll
reach out
listen.
to
I'll
me
listen.
because I love editing and
Oh, you're the editing
especially
queen, yes.
oh yeah, I especially love taking footage and putting it over voiceover. I think that's really fun process of finding
Ah,
what footage works best with that section, and puzzling is just so fun.
okay. Well, yeah, I have no experience in that department. I'll have to get the footage first, though. Okay.
I a
I have to
dream
get the
that I
footage
have
first.
a dream that I have is to be like a person's YouTube cheerleader and be like, "Okay, I'll hold your hand through it and let's try to get could you go out into your backyard and get some footage of trees? Just take your phone and
Ah,
trees slowly go up. You know, can you show your favorite coffee mugs, whatever, and we'll collect these things and I'll put it together."
YouTube mentor. There you go.
Yeah, I think that would be so fun.
Well, I'm sure there's loads of people that need that kind of help.
Yeah.
People like me that are just, not savvy with it and would probably spend ages and hours trying to figure it all out. So, yeah,
Yeah.
well, I don't know because I've only just met you. I don't know much about you, but you need to put that out there. Have you
I
put that
do.
out?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It's funny how like somebody said to me, you can't see when you're inside the jar, you can't see the label.
I love
And
that.
that's how it is. Like we have our gifts for
Mm.
each other. I get so many ideas for people. I just can't turn it off. And I'm like, you could do this and this and this and this and this. And it's so fun and it's so exciting for me. But then I need other people to tell me, okay, but I see very clearly what you need to do or what could help you or whatever, not what you need. Um, but yeah, so you feel like you've got some inner work to do and some practical stuff to do?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm so thankful that we could have this time and that you just went for it and yeah, let's do it today. That's so fun. So I was really want to thank you for being willing to be vulnerable because that is not easy. And
Thank
you
you.
should be really yeah, I did. I did that. I had no
Thank
idea what
you.
this podcast was going to be like, but I was like, let's just do it.
Yeah, let's jump in. The planets were aligned to do it today. So, yeah, we made it happen.
Yay. So thank you for that. And yeah, I just want to say thank you. And the way that I end my conversations is I give hugs.
Oh, that's cute. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
I don't know if you can tell, but I love having these conversations. I love being in that space of really listening with my whole heart to see what ideas I can come up with, what encouragement I can give to help people with their blocks. Because I just know that nothing is impossible. There is something that we can do right now. Some small thing that is going to give us movement towards the bigger things. And I'd love to help you figure out what that small thing is that you can do. If you got some inspiration from this, I would love to hear that. Because the truth is, we are not alone. There are other people who understand. There are other people in our lives that want to help, that we may have not even thought to ask for help yet. There is a community out there waiting for us all. So wherever you are in your business, in your dream, in the creative thing that you want to do, I would love to support you in that. I'm here to make things doable and actionable. I love to dive into the actual inner struggle and the inner blocks, but I also love to give things that you can do right now. If you would like to have more information about that, check out my website, www.clearingthecreative.com. So you can connect there and learn more about how we can work together. If you would like to check out other content from me, I also have a vlog, and that's on YouTube. And I have another podcast where people share their spiritual transformative stories. And they share about the modalities that they have that they're using to make the world a better place. And I share just other perspectives that we can learn compassion from, that we can broaden our horizons from. So you can find the links to all of those things down below. Yeah, that's all I've got for today. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you. And look out for the next awesome episode.